Have you ever seen a small child in his father's arms? One little hand clutches the lapel of his father's jacket, while his head presses against that strong, protective chest. Tensions may be all around, but the child is not threatened because he feels safe. This safety is no longer present in our world today. The greatest want of our world is the want of men, good men, men who will not be bought or sold, men who in their inmost souls are true and honest, men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. The Almighty God have set the foundations. God first, Christ second, man third, and woman fourth. Therefore build your house like the wise men on the almighty foundations where you built for eternity.
I am Adan Sosa. My complete name, as they say, my business name, Jaime Adan Sosa. But here in Belize and around, everybody know me as Adan. So I have the privilege to be able to serve and work here at La Lomalus Adventist Hospital. I'm here since 2009. It has been an interesting journey, an educational journey, but a spiritual walk that have taught me that life is precious, and that as I work with different people from time to time, I realize that there is an awesome God who created all of us unique, all of us different, and that the love of God is far beyond. So I'm blessed being here at La Lumalas to be able to work with wonderful people, wonderful teams as we do our best to care for people who need the physical healing, but also we try to let them know that there is more than physical. There is the spiritual and the mental that we try to be a blessing to. So I'm blessed to be here at La Lomalos Adventist Hospital. I have been blessed to grow up in a Christian home. My parents, Dalia Sosa, my mom, Gloria Sosa, and my little sister, Letty. And growing up, attending church services and hearing, preaching, reading, I have heard always read about miracles, but not really had much people shared miracles in their life. It seemed like miracle was a distant reality for others. But as I was growing up and I reached a certain age, um, I got sick, physical sick. I was 29 years old. And in that, I was first being treated for saying that the nerve from my left knee was damaged. So they gave me some injection in the nerve to kill the nerve. And after 3 days, the pain came stronger. And finally, they did a biopsy in 2002. And I did a scan April 28th, 2002. And then I learned that I had osteosarcoma. It was a bone cancer, very aggressive, I understood. And when I learned about cancer, I always felt my ignorance. I thought that cancer would only come on those who would probably drink a lot of alcohol or these type of stuff. but I had never taken drinking any alcohol or smoked a cigarette. So I thought that cancer was not something that I would get, but I was diagnosed with cancer. And I could recall that I was getting assistance from Social Security. And when I was diagnosed and I went there, they said that because it's a natural sickness and cancer, they cannot assist me anymore. I was there in the city, and we had like $300. That's all we had. And I had to be taken. The doctor said, there's nothing more we can do for you here in Belize. Go to Mexico, go to the United States, go to Guatemala. Um, Probably they can treat you. Maybe you can get a knee replacement, but you need to go somewhere. And this is where I felt that my world just began to crumble because I was still young. And I felt that my life was coming to an end. There reached a point where I was told that nothing can be done for me here at home. And I need to go out, but I need money I did not have. And we went home, we prayed. I shared what I had with as much people as I could. And the 1st of May, we had made some arrangements and I was to be taken to Guatemala City to go to a hospital that is called Incan. And we were preparing to leave, and just before we left home in Libertad, a family member came and gave us an envelope. And there was $2,000 in that envelope. I still give thanks to Lily and Jose Romero who gifted that to me at that time. And another friend came and said he was volunteering with the Red Cross. He said, man, I'll go with you all. And we came, you took me to Guatemala, and I was admitted in that hospital the 2nd of May. And there they did all the tests over, and they got the results of the biopsy, and it showed the very same thing that I was told here in Belize, osteosarcoma. And there I began to see that miracles were real, because it took more than us, our need, the point where, humanly speaking, no one could have done more for me here. $300, go home, we can't do nothing for you. And at that point, when it seemed that the hope was just fading away, my world was just going apart, I see the hand of God beginning to take greater control, because I realized this is not us. We do not have the money to move, but the Lord impressed upon the heart of a different family to give us. The guy Ian Glory who volunteered to go with us, when we reached here in Santa Elena, I went to Wilhelm home and we stayed there the evening. They went across the Melchor border to see who can take me to Guatemala City. And when they reached there, a van, they talked to a guy, and the guy said, I can take you all. And tonight, 12 o'clock, we would leave. And we went, and this guy, and when he paid that taxi, that chartered van for us. We did not have to pay for it. He paid for it. Just to learn that the guy that took us is not even from Melchor. He was from Flores, and he just did a trip from Flores to Melchor to the border. And at the same time, my father, Wilhelm, they were there and they talked to this guy, and he agreed to take us to Guatemala City. It was miracle after miracle that began to happen. And when I Then was told the 10th of May of 2002 that I had some options that I need to look at. I was taken into a room with like 30 doctors on big screens and showing, explaining to me what they had. And then the doctor came back to my room about 5 o'clock the evening, 10th of May, in the hospital, and he said, I need to talk to you. We have evaluated your case, and this is what I bring. Your cancer is an aggressive one, and you need to make immediate action. You have one, you could try to get a knee replacement. So we'll cut out your knee, get a knee, cost like 10,000 US at that point, he said, to get a knee that can be compatible with yours, and we can try to have you still walking with your 2 feet. The second option is what we can do, an amputation of your leg, complete amputation. The third option, you can just continue as you are and live a few days, and that's it. It will kill you. At that point, I had too much pain. There was a point where I would take those pain pills that would, I was in those ibuprofen pills, I would take one every 30 minutes, hoping that the pain would ease, and it would not ease. Then in the hospital, I would get those morphine injections that they said every 12 hours. Every 4 hours, the pain came back, and I would cry out and I would beg, please give me an injection, because I could not take the pain. And so he told me that evening, 1, knee replacement, 2, amputation, 3, don't do anything and you pass away in a few days. We are recommending getting amputation because you will lose your leg, but because of the aggressiveness of this cancer, it would be the best option to save your life. And that was when I hoped that we had another 4th option, because 1, 2, 3 multiple choice, can there be a 4th? And he said, this was Friday evening. The sun was almost about to set. And he said, Monday morning when we come back, you give us your answer. And I prayed that night, because in the hospital, no family member or friend could stay with me. I had to be there alone with the other patients that were there. And I prayed that night. And I said, Lord, man, I need an answer from you. And sometimes you pray and you don't know what you're praying for, you're asking. And I asked for a simple sign, a foolish sign. I said, Lord, if I should get my leg amputated, I want you to. I had just gotten an injection like 30 minutes before, so the pain was off. I was good. I was good at least for the next 4 to 6 hours. And then I prayed, I said, Lord, if I should get my leg amputated, if this is your will, allow the pain to come back on me right now, because I know that under normal circumstances with the injection, I will have no pain. But if I should not get it amputated, don't allow the pain to come. Brother, 5 minutes after when that pain hit me, I knew then that I should get my leg amputated. But now I'm praying, Lord, could you take it away from me, because I can't take the pain and they can't give me another injection, and I had there like an hour with that pain, and then it eased off. That night, 10 o'clock the night, I had known that God had answered my prayer and showed me what I needed to do. Monday morning, when the doctor came, I shared with my family when they visit me on Sabbath. Nobody wanted me to lose my leg, but nobody wanted me to pass away, to die. Monday morning, I shared with the doctor, I'm ready for amputation. And he said, you sure? I said, yes. He said, well, we'll do it Friday. I said, but you told me this thing is serious. Can't you do it before? And they said, they came back and said, we'll do it on Wednesday, the 15th of May. And I was to be the second person, but I wanted to be the first one, and I prayed, Lord, help me, man. I want to get through this. And that morning, the first patient had some complications, so he could not take the surgery first, and they came for me, and I went in first. The 15th of May 2002. It's a date that I keep in my mind because it's a day when my leg was amputated, and I felt that the Lord answered my prayers, and the cancer left me. It did not finish there. It went, and I came when the doctor visited me. I got amputated the Wednesday, and the Friday I was discharged from the hospital 2 days after. And when I went back the other week and the doctor checked, for some reason he did and said you can come back until August 13th. And so I looked for every opportunity and came back to Belize. And I knew the National Youth Camp was coming up, and I wanted to go to the youth camp. I wanted to go. So I came home without my leg, but without pain. And I was at ease. And I reached home, and when I reached home, 2 days after, they called me that there is a group in Corozal Hospital, a mission medical team that is doing prosthesis. And one of the persons at the hospital knew me, and they called me, can you come to the hospital? At least so that they could see you and see if they can do a leg for you. And so I went, they took me to the hospital, and when I went into the room, and I remember the name good, Miss Chris Reef, she looked on me and she said, man, I am afraid I cannot help you. We did not bring any knee. We only brought material to do prosthesis from below the knee. She said, but let me confirm. I will check, I will search, and if I find a knee, I will try to do a leg for you. I came home, I prayed. That was the Thursday. The Friday, no call. The Sabbath morning, I said, I'm going to church. With foot or without foot, I'm going to church. So I went to church that Sabbath. I came back home, no call. The Sunday, no call. And then the Monday, the phone rang. At that point, when he said, listen, Mr. Sosa, he said, we found a knee. He said, meet us tomorrow at 9 o'clock in Libertad Community Center. We'll be there to do a medical mission. Meet us there. And I was taken there, and the lady said, I need to share something with you. She said, I believe that this is God's plan for you to get a leg. Because we searched Friday, our stuff, and we didn't find nothing Friday night, and Saturday morning, we called your number 3 times, but you did not answer the phone. And I said, thank God, because if I would have stayed home and did not go to church, I would have answered the phone. Just to hear that they can't do a leg for me, but I went to church with 1 foot. But I said, Lord, I will be going, because the Bible said, no, if your foot offend you, I offend you, pluck it out. In this case, I went, and I still went to worship. And because I went to worship, I did not answer the phone when they would have told me they can't help me. So she said, when you did not answer, we took that as a sign and said, let's search again. And they said, we searched over, and you would not believe that in the box that we searched, instead of 1 knee, we found 2 knees. They said, we know we did not bring that. How could 2 knees be? And we searched that box Friday night. It says, so when you did not answer, it was a sign for us to search again, and here we are. Tuesday, they took all the measurements, and on Thursday, they called me and said, we'll try to finish this leg for you. And Thursday, 11 o'clock, they called me and said, meet us at Tony's Inn at 1 o'clock. And I went there, and when I stepped into with my crutches, I saw on a table, I saw a prosthetic leg. I said, that's my foot. And they put it on me, didn't give me no therapy, because they were leaving. They just showed me how to put it on, how to come down the step, how to rise up the step. And he said, practice on your own and be careful. So I asked, how much I owe. I always like ask that, but I don't mean it. I don't want to pay, but I want to know how much I owe. And she did, and she did all that. He told me, I think, what, 15,000? I don't remember exactly the figure now. And he said, listen, this is what you would need to pay, but it's a gift to you. It was another miracle. So I went to youth camp with my leg, my prosthesis, and then when I went back to Guatemala, the doctor said, why are you just coming? I said, this is the date that I was given. And he said, no, man, you should not have gone. You should have started chemotherapy already. And I was afraid of that. I did not want to take chemotherapy. I told him no, but they convinced me. I took it. That was the toughest part of it. The first one, all my hair from everything. By the second cycle, you couldn't find one hair on my entire body. Not one hair we could have found. Everything fell out. And that was the one that I felt that I was closest to death. 15 days, no water, no food, and I began to dry. And one of the nurses visited me to the home where I was, and she said this is not correct. And she tried to put IV, and she put in the vein, and the vein would burst, and the skin just begin to get swelled. Pain. She tried all around. She found a vein somewhere around here. And here is the only one that did not burst, and that's how she gave me some IV. At that point, I could not talk. My voice had left me. I could not swallow my saliva. It became automatically for us. We swallow our saliva without noticing. It became so hard on me. I could not swallow my saliva. My mouth water would just keep pouring out because the pain just to swallow. I had severe pain. It's something that we do naturally. We don't really understand. Just the fact of swallowing a saliva is a blessing from God until you're in the condition you realize it. I did not have strength to get up. I was lying on a bed, and they put another bed in between so that I could put something to the saliva could pour. I did not have the strength to lift up my head. I did not have voice anymore. I could not talk. I tried to say it, but no voice. My voice had left. And it was in that condition where I could not talk, no voice. I could not swallow my saliva. I did not even have the strength to lift up my head because I could not eat. I could not drink. There was a severe pain from my throat down to my stomach. That I prayed to God. I prayed to God, and I asked Him to consider me. Give me an opportunity to live. And if you do that, I will tell others what you have done for me. I didn't like preaching. And I said, Lord, I don't like preaching. I grew up in this church, but I don't like preaching. I admire the work of a pastor, but I think they have a lot of work, a lot of treatment to them that is not always, I think, fair, and I feel I would never want to be that. And I said, Lord, but I would preach if you give me the opportunity to get up from here. I did not have a leg. I did not have voice. I did not have any hair. I was more dead than alive. And in that condition, I whispered a prayer. And God heard my prayer, not a voice, but He heard a prayer from my heart. And He, in His mercy and His love, again gave me the opportunity to live again. I was taken to a different hospital, and they gave me some capsules where they give some natural remedies. They are big hospitals. And the doctor said, listen, man, he gave me like some big capsules, like every 4 capsules, every 5 hours. So you need to drink. And I said, I can't because the pain. And he said, listen, if you drink these, you have a bacteria, a virus that came from your throat to your stomach. If you drink these, I could guarantee you that with God's grace in 3 days, you will be eating and drinking. But if you don't do that, they will be burying you because your system is shutting down. And with tears, I cried, but I drank those medication and we prayed and I drank. And 3 days after, I had something to eat for the first time in 15 days. And I began to recover. And I went through 6 cycles of chemotherapy. And in each step of the way, God performed miracles after miracles. So I do believe that there is a God who is alive. I do believe that there is a God who hears even when I can't say it out loud, but when I whisper it from my heart, He hears. And there's a God who answers prayer. I believe in miracles, not because I deserve it. I believe because I have experienced it, I have lived it, because of a loving and a merciful God. And so it's not only a reading from Scripture, it's not only what a preacher said, but it's a reality in my life. There is a God who is alive, who performs miracles even today. When I was sick, there were quite a number of different people who visited me. And some people would say a lot. From they reach till they leave, they talk, hoping to comfort. I really don't remember what they said. But there is a guy who reached that didn't say much. He reached and he left one verse with me. And that verse have become, from that moment, my favorite verse where I found hope in it. Psalm 30, verse 5. Psalm 30, verse 5, and I would read it out for you again. It says, "For his anger endureth but a moment. In his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning." Psalm 30, verse 5 has become the verse that brought hope and encouragement to me then and still does today. Because I face, like many others, different challenges from time to time. And when you're in those moments of loneliness, when in those moments of sickness and suffering, when you're in those financial struggles, when you have these challenges, it seemed that it would never end. It seemed like it goes on and goes on. But just like the sun rises in the morning, the Lord promised men that anger would endure for a night, but that joy cometh in the morning. And I have had the privilege to experience it, that when I was in those troubling moments, I was not alone, but that God was with me. And I look back now and I realize, just like when the 3 Hebrew boys was thrown in the furnace, there were 3 of them thrown in the furnace. They did not, the furnace was not taken away, but when they were cast in the furnace, the Lord was with them in it. And I went through my situation with this cancer, and the Lord did not avoid the cancer to hit me, but I was never alone in that process. The Lord was with me. And even though I was not understanding it then, I felt many times alone. And even today I struggle with, why I don't have my leg? Why is it that I go through these things? And I did not understand a lot of things then. But then some people came and said, "Hey, brother Adan, man, I know the Lord was with you, and I am encouraged to see that you are still holding on." And for me, I struggled because why would you be encouraged at my suffering? Why would you be encouraged when I am taking a lick? But then I realized that the three Hebrew boys who were in the furnace, I don't know if they saw the fourth person, but they knew they were not alone. But the people, the king looked into the furnace and said, but I see four. And while I might be suffering and I feel like I'm alone sometimes, somebody else saw that I was not alone. While you might be going through your stuff and asking questions, somebody might be seeing that you are not alone, that God is with you, and it could be an encouragement to somebody. So when I look on Psalm 30, verse 5, then I realize that anger might be there for the night. And night is the darkest time. It feels you suffer, you feel lonely. But joy, not happiness, joy, something that comes deep, something that comes from the heart, something that is a gift from God. Joy comes in the morning. And if we remain faithful, we too will have that joyful experience, that morning of joy that comes from the Lord Jesus Christ. So I believe, and it's my verse that has become so real for me, Psalm 30, verse 5. I share with you is a part of my reality, my life. And when I look on it and I analyze, I realize that the miracles that I have experienced is not because of who I am, because I realize that I have done so much that is not consciously, it's not always in accordance to God. Will I make mistakes from time to time? I do things that might not be pleasing to God, but what I have learned is that the love of God is real and I don't understand all of it. But I know that there is a living God. And you might be hearing me and you might be saying, but Brother Adan, God did that for you. Now you could look back, that's 23 years ago. You could look back and you have the story to tell. But in my situation, and I have found it in the past that I have always counseled people, don't worry, trust in God, He will do it for you. But when it comes to me, I struggle because I felt that God could do it for you, but not for me. Then I realized that I was mistaken, because God could do it for you and He could do it for me. I did not know what the result would have been, but I prayed honestly to God. I told Him what I was going through. I explained to Him my situation, and I expressed the desire of my heart. I wanted to be healed. I said, Lord, you know I want to be healed. Look on me. I am not even complete. I have lost my leg. I am in a physical condition that if you look on me, if my friends look on me, they will not even recognize me the way I am. But I'm begging you to do this for me. And likewise for you, I'm saying you, man, pray to this God. Pour out your heart to Him. Talk to God honestly and sincerely. Tell Him the desires of your heart and ask Him, Lord, if it is your will, do it. I did not want to lose my leg, but I said, Lord, if it is your will that I lose my leg, then Lord, help me to accept your will. And I lost my leg and I still punish from time to time. I did not want to lose my leg, but I lost my leg, but I'm still alive. You might not want to lose certain things, but talk to God honestly, and what God's will for you, He will bring it through. And so I want to encourage us that may we ask the Lord to grow our faith in Him, that when we bring our petition to Him, that we will set it before Him and ask Him, Lord, let your will be done. And whatever the Lord answer is, that I could rejoice, And I could say, Lord, thank you for what you have done. As I sit, as I hear before you, there are many things that if it was my choice, I would have worked it out differently. I did not want to lose my leg. There are many things I did not want to do. But I placed it at that time at the hands of Christ. I said, Lord, you work it out for me. I'm asking you, spare my life. And if you spare my life, I will tell the story to others of what you have done for me. And in that light, the Lord did his part. And I'm here today trying to tell you that God is not just a story, it's a reality. Miracles is not just what you read out there, it's a reality even today. And for you who are going through your challenges, that God who made a difference for me can make a difference for you. He can make a difference for all of us. And I encourage you to trust in that God.